In 2020, one of the greatest teams in Formula One was sold just to stay alive. Williams Racing. 9 world championships, over 100 race wins, a name that built the sport, went into administration and sold for 152 million euros. Not as a prize, as a rescue. The family had run out of road. Now, here's the strange part. 5 years later, that same team is worth over $2 billion. And Williams isn't even the headline. The least valuable team on the grid today is worth $1.68 billion. All 10 teams together, more than $34 billion. A higher average value than a Major League Baseball franchise. So the question is, how does a sport go from teams selling themselves off to stay alive to teams worth more than American baseball in roughly 5 years? The cars didn't suddenly get faster, the rules didn't suddenly change, so what did? The easy answer everyone reaches for is Netflix. Drive to Survive made F1 cool. Americans discovered it and done. And that answer isn't wrong, it's just incomplete in a way that hides the actual mechanism. Because if Netflix were the whole story, every sport with a Netflix show would be worth $34 billion. Most aren't. Something underneath made the show land the way it did, and that something is the real lesson. To understand what changed, you have to go back to the man who built what came before, and the trap he didn't know he was in. Bernie Ecclestone ran Formula One for almost 40 years, and he was not a fool. He built a money machine on one simple idea. Scarcity is the product. Sell exclusive TV rights to the highest bidder, charge cities to host races, charge sponsors to stand next to all that wealth and speed. For 3 decades, it printed money. And in 2014, he told you exactly who that machine was built for. Asked why F1 wasn't chasing younger fans, he said, "Most of these kids haven't got any money. I would rather get to the 70-year-old guy who's got plenty of cash." Now, pause on that, because on its own terms, he's not wrong. A wealthy 50-year-old genuinely is worth more to a Rolex sponsor than a broke 22-year-old. Ecclestone wasn't confused. He was doing the math correctly, for the audience he already had. But here's what the math couldn't see. He was fishing from a lake he never restocked. And a lake like that looks completely full year after year, right up until the season it's empty. By 2016, F1's viewership had fallen for 6 straight years. The bank balance looked healthy, the audience underneath it was quietly bleeding out. And this is the first thing I want you to take from this story, because it's the one that should genuinely scare you. A business can be profitable, confident, hitting every number on the dashboard, and still be dying if the only people it's making money from are the ones it already has. Revenue tells you about today. It tells you nothing about whether anyone new is walking in the door. Ecclestone's mistake wasn't bad management, it was watching the wrong number. So, when Liberty Media bought F1 in 2017 for around $8 billion, the obvious move would have been to fix the product. Better cars, better racing, more competition. That's what struggling businesses always reach for first. And that is not what they did. Watch the actual order of events. Their very first move within weeks of taking over, before pre-season testing had even started, was a letter to every team relaxing the rules on social media. Because under Ecclestone, this is how sealed shut it was. You couldn't film inside the paddock without a broadcast license. Drivers who posted their own onboard clips to Instagram got cease and desist letters. Lewis Hamilton, the most famous driver on earth, had a stack of them. Liberty tore it up overnight. Then their new commercial chief, Sean Bratches, walked in and found, and this is a direct quote, "No marketing team, no digital team, no communications, no research, nothing. A multi-billion-dollar global sport that in 67 years had never run a single marketing campaign." And here's the proof that the order mattered. By the end of 2017, and hold this date because Drive to Survive had not aired one episode yet, F1's social following was up 55%, its Facebook video views were up over 1,600%, and 6 straight years of decline had reversed for the first time since 2010. The product hadn't changed. The way in had. And that's the lesson sitting underneath it. The one most people get backwards. When something you've built is losing relevance, your instinct is to improve the thing itself. But Liberty understood that a better product only reaches the people already inside the building. If a stranger can't get from mildly curious to actually paying attention without hitting a wall, then sharpening the product is invisible to everyone who matters, the ones who haven't arrived yet. They fixed the entrance before they touched the rooms. You probably need to look at your own front door before you renovate anything behind it. But opening the door on its own isn't enough, and Liberty knew it. Free access exists for nearly every sport on the planet, and most of them aren't worth $34 billion. So, why did F1's open door turn strangers into obsessives when everyone else's doesn't? That's where Drive to Survive actually comes in, and where almost everyone misreads it. People think it worked by reaching more people. It didn't. It worked by giving people someone to care about before anyone asked them to understand a single thing. Think about how impossible the old ask was. Hand a stranger the F1 rulebook, tire compounds, DRS zones, qualifying formats, and say, "Now, love this sport." They never will. There's nothing to hold onto. But show them 15 minutes of Gunther Steiner running a tiny team on a fraction of Ferrari's budget, visibly losing his mind, fighting to keep the whole thing alive, and suddenly they're in. The racing didn't get simpler. They just got a person to follow into it. That's the move. Drive to Survive didn't explain Formula One, it delayed the need to explain it. It let people care first and figure out the rules later. And because Liberty had already opened the door, the moment someone finished an episode and went looking for more, there was a whole world waiting. The YouTube channel, the team accounts, the clips. The show lit the match. The open door is what let it spread. And here's where this stops being an F1 story and becomes yours. Most businesses lead with the rulebook. They open with what the product does, the specs, the features, the equivalent of handing a stranger the regulation and asking them to care. It doesn't work. Because nobody falls for a feature. They fall for a person, a struggle, a stake. If your marketing explains before it makes anyone feel, you're doing what F1 did for 67 years. Lead with your Steiner, the customer meet crisis, the founder who nearly lost everything, the visible transformation, and let the explanation come once they already care. Now, the final piece and the deepest one, because there's still the matter of how all that attention became $34 billion. Look at the newest deal. Apple is paying around $140 million a year for US rights starting in 2026. Then rewind to 2018 when ESPN picked up F1 in America after the previous broadcaster quit. And F1 was so desperate for any US presence that ESPN reportedly paid no rights fee at all. From basically zero to $140 million a year in under a decade. That leap didn't come from tougher negotiating, it came from suddenly having something worth negotiating over, a real growing audience. And that's the whole difference between Ecclestone and Liberty in one line. Ecclestone charged the highest possible price to the fans he already had. Liberty went and built the fans it didn't have yet, and then the money came looking for them. Yes, the 2021 cost cap helped. It made teams profitable, safe to invest in. But profitable isn't the same as desirable. The cap made the teams worth keeping. The audience made them worth buying. Every valuation followed the fans, not the spreadsheet. And here's the principle that ties the whole thing together, the one worth writing down. There is a difference between squeezing what you have and building what you don't, between extraction and growth. Ecclestone maximized extraction and watched his future quietly drain away. Liberty gave the entrance away almost for free. Free clips, open social, easy access, and only charged hard at the back once the audience was real and enormous. If you're early, that's your move too. Cheap and open at the door, premium at the depth. Charge people too much to walk in and you'll have a beautiful empty room. So, when you strip it all back, Liberty didn't change the sport at all. They changed the order. Ecclestone asked, who's rich enough to be worth reaching today? Liberty asked, who could become a fan tomorrow if the path in were easy enough to walk? Same question on the surface, completely different business underneath. The raw material was always there. The speed, the glamour, the rivalries, the history. Ecclestone had just sealed it in a box. Liberty opened the box. Access first, emotion second, money last. The order was the entire trick. And I'll be honest with you, F1 is a special case. Decades of prestige, built-in drama, a global footprint you can't copy. So this won't map onto every business, it maps onto one specific situation. When what you've built is genuinely good, the people already inside know it's good. But a stranger has no easy, low-cost way to find out why it matters. That's the most complex, valuable business ever built by insiders for insiders. There is a decent chance it's yours. So the question to sit with isn't whether your product is good enough. It almost certainly is. The question is whether a new person has any way to care about it before they're forced to understand it. Because the $34 billion didn't come from a faster car, it came from a letter telling 10 teams their drivers could finally post clips online. The least glamorous decision in the entire story, made first and on purpose. So, if you've ever sat in a room where the real argument was make the product better versus fix how new people find us, I would genuinely like to know which way you went and whether it worked. My bet is most rooms reach for the product first. Tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, I run these same teardowns on different companies every week, same question every time. What's the mechanism everyone's misreading? If that's worth your time, consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.